time. 'Cause I know that you ain't mine, and I'm lost without you. You still be the one I talk to when I'm sad. Can't you see now tainted love is all we had? Our issues run so deep, now when I try to sleep I feel so bad. I should leave, and by the time it's done I'll be
Got enough of every melody, they all sound the same. Yeah. For my broken heart, no remedy, but maybe if you stay, we can get away with it. Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. I do you do cause I'm feeling so good. Ooh. I do you do cause I'm feeling so good. Ooh. Oh, my darkest memories, now let me fall back. But you'll be there, ready to rescue me if I go out of track. We can get away with it. Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. I do you do cause I'm feeling so good. Yeah. What's on the other side of inhibition? Ooh, I do you do cause I'm feeling so cool. Girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I like the girls with their nails done. Girls with their
Welcome one and all. We have returned here to EGL One. The third season is continuing as we go on to try and determine who is the best team within the African continent, who is going to be carrying the flag forward of the representative of the number one at the very top of the mountain. Today, unfortunately though, we're not going to be looking at matchups that get us closer to the summit. We are at the very base of the mountain, throwing some teams off, and the first elimination game of the tournament will be commencing here today. After this is done, between the side of Enter the Wukong or 4Q, one of them will be going home. We do not know who it's going to be just yet, but we're going to be here together with you to try and find out. And who are we? We are the good duo. It is the Not.a.Snare duo. Not.a.hero, good sir, it's been a minute. I've missed you. How are you doing, fam? And how are you looking forward to today's games?
Hey, brother. First of all, missed you too. And I am hyped, my man. Like, finals and semifinals and all those things are always nice and glorious, and that's where the hype is at, and that's where the glory is. But knockout games, throwing the people off the mountain games, that's satisfaction. It's also where you start building a head of steam, building momentum, and someone's going home, man. Like, this is knockout Dota. It's the end of the road for someone, which is going to be sad, let's be fair, but I like these games. This is where the cheese picks come out. This is where teams pull out something out of the hat, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen.
Absolutely. I mean, to his point that he's mentioning there about what can happen after these eliminations, back in Season 2, one of the first games that we ended up casting in the lower division, or the lower bracket rather, once the team got eliminated, Punks went a very deep run. They got top 6, I think, if I remember correctly. A very big surprise at the time. Nobody was anticipating it. But a lot of that fire starts from this lower bracket run. We get that first game, you're like, well, we're still in this. We're on the edge of the mountain, but we're not going to be backing down. It gives that adrenaline rush. So we're going to be seeing which one of these squads will get that injection of hype and be able to figure out this game, as we have a draft on our hands here. Good sir, Not.a.hero. This is South Africa, so that means that we're going to be seeing pucks, we're going to be seeing tinies, but sadly, this is a real hero now. Are we going to be seeing the punch today, do you think, between 4Q and Enter the Wukong?
Teams have been pulling it out, but we've been mainly like running it in the off lane, which I don't like that much. I do think the hero is he functions very much like Slark. I just think like better at the moment because he's like naturally tanky throughout the game. So in a core position, getting him to those kills, securing it for him as an off laner as a 3, he kind of becomes your setup. And when games are going rough, you don't have a off laner to dictate the pace for you because your Pudge is banking on a hook because he's not tanky enough to blink in because he hasn't steamrolled. But we see 4Q here banning out Elder Titan, which is very weird. I think the hero is pretty much in the dumpster, but maybe they want to pick something that like ET is good against. Zeus ban, not surprised. This hero is absolutely busted. I'm so sick of seeing Zeus in my pubs. Like, the heavenly jump is just way too dumb. It's so stupid, man. Like the hero just does the same amount of damage regardless of where you play him. It's a flex as well, and just get it out. Don't let it get played. It's a first pick, so that's a good ban. But into the Wukong opting for good bans. They ban Undying and then Night Stalker, which probably indicates they're looking for a melee strength core. Just that doesn't like to be kited. And these very interesting opening here. Into Wukong, Witch Doctor plus Nyx Assassin. Nyx has been seeing a revival, eh? Like, I've been seeing a lot of the Chinese teams running him, especially Kaka. Kaka plays a lot of Nyx, but Kaka Nyx is different Nyx.
It feels like a different hero, honestly. When I see Kaka play Nyx, it's sort of like, you know, the difference between like a really good Timbersaw player, the difference between, say, a Ice, a Mar Timber, and just like your regular Timbersaw player. It feels like, what the hell is this? Why is this allowed in the game? Nyx is in a similar boat where if you're good enough on Nyx, you're just incredible. 4Q, I love their opener.
Won the draft. They just won the draft.
Don't break a tiny team.
They just won the draft. Like, Into the Wukong opened with this Witch Doctor plus Nyx, which is 100% the 2 supports, which I'm never a fan of, especially when you have second pick, because on second pick they could have picked a carry now, like literally your pos 1 where the next was picked, and then you had 3 bans now to secure your carry's lane. They opted for 2 supports, meaning a lot of the carry pool is going to be banned out now, and they're going to have less options to choose from. And now on top of that, you're playing into Dawnbreaker, busted, so strong, so good. And this tiny hero, man, like, it's a flex. It can go. It's a flex. It can go 2. It can go like 3, maybe, but like 2 or 4 is probably the position. And the hero's just good. Like, as a 4, the repositioning is just amazing. His stun change has made this hero so good. But the mid tinies at the moment is going like the straight blink dagger, sometimes even skip echo, like straight into like Crystallis Ags, and they become this pick off, but it also allows them to provide massive team fight with the tree toss, the tree volley. So and I like it. Like I've been a fan of it for a long time. Like Icefrog didn't take it out even though people weren't building it, and it's always fun just watching people die and being slowed by the Echo Saber while trees are hitting them in the face.
What, like 3-4 heroes going from 100 to 0, and you're like, oh well, this was actually fair and balanced. Why is this allowed in the game? But it is. In 4Q, speaking of a hero that we just discussed now, Timbersaw gets removed from play here. They are playing with both Dawnbreaker and Tiny, so having these beefy heroes, you certainly want to remove Timbersaw, you certainly want to remove Necro. It's also giving more context to the first phase bans that they have for themselves, right? The Zeus obviously eventually gets percent-based damage. ET, certainly out of the meta in general, but I'm pretty sure one of these guys plays Atomic War, because if you play the Atomic War custom game, ET is busted, and the main reason is because strength heroes are really good in that game, and ET with the natural order really helps against these strength heroes. So 4Q, I like what they're doing. Like, it might not be the most straightforward thing necessarily with the bans, but it starts to make sense as time goes on. Even them removing this Pudge now. One of the things, like, this is like a dual ban, right? Pudge, generally, you don't want to be playing into Pudge when you only have limited amounts of burst, and right now they only have the Tiny. But more importantly, you really don't want to play into Pudge as Dawnbreaker. Either you get the hero that you're trying to solo Guardian dragged out of the SG, and then it's just awful, or you SG into a Pudge with a large AoE rot, and you're hating life anyway. Either way, great ban coming in from 4Q.
Or if you're playing aggressive, he just saves the target that you use the Dawnbreaker ulti on top of. So, yeah. No, 100% agree. Like, the Necro ban makes a lot of sense, but it also looks like they're trying to secure this Tiny's lane. These picks or these bans kind of indicate to me that it's going to be a mid-Tiny, because he doesn't want to lane against Zeus, he doesn't want to lane against Necro, and he doesn't want to lane against Timbersaw. So, just trying to secure the Tiny's lane, which is very good because it'll allow them to have tempo on the map. Tiny can rotate, get these power runes, go to the side lanes. Witch Doctor is a very easy kill. Nyx now in the past used to be really good against Tiny because you could activate Carapace in between the mini stuns, but now you're just flat out stunned. Like, okay, like, I'm not moving. What are they going to pick up here? Beastmaster. Okay, I like it. I like it.
I love
Beastmaster Nyx. Beastmaster Nyx, very tanky lane. Nice little stun. Like, a lot of damage from the balls. If you have double ball plus Nyx stun, I think someone's going down. So
10 seconds.
Not just that, dude. They get, like, if you get maledicted and you get double board, my god. It's like, you'll think, oh, even if you TP out, I'm safe, I'm alive. No, you're not. You're gonna end up just dying and passing away. One of the reasons I also love this hero is I always feel like, we were talking about this on one of the games just last weekend, that anytime you have a draft nowadays in Dota, you always want to make sure that you're in position to take real estate off the back of a fight, that you can force the enemy into a position where if they make a mistake, they get hard punished for it, not just with a fight, but with map control as well. Beastmaster, one of the best at doing that. Between the Beastmaster and the Nyx as well, they have so much vision on the map. It's kind of crazy, like, the way it's looking right now.
Nyx can control one area of the map with his invis, and Beastmaster can use the Hawk for another area. But 4Q doing some really smart drafting here. They took the strong opener with Tiny plus Dawnbreaker, and now Beastmaster gets picked out, and then they react to it with Enchantress. This really hurts Beastmaster's laning phase because she could just take over the balls. And we saw Shadow Tricks do it like the other day, opting then not to skill like Call of the Wild at all. I think he overdid it a little bit. But
max axes too.
Yeah, like definitely in the early levels, like 2 levels of axes is enough for the laning phase. You need to then go back for Call of the Wild. But that's definitely a good ban, and we've spoken about like healing support so often. I think Enchantress is one of them. The only thing with Enchantress, depending on like your creep usage and which creeps you are comfortable with, it really impacts the play style of your team. Like, obviously the troll summoners, like, then you want to do like a pushing thing, but they don't really have other heroes that push. I guess Dawnbreaker or Tiny can tank a bit while the skeletons rally and take the tower. But this Bambi pick, it's interesting, and it depends on the play style of the player as well. But in reaction to this Beastmaster, I do feel it's a really good pick.
Yep, I like this. Winter Wyvern comes out now as well. This we've seen as a big option against Beastmaster for several reasons. Big wave clear coming out of the Splinter Blast. The Winter's Curse helps you to set up not just on the Beastmaster, but you turn his own army against him or other heroes around him. And this is also going to be on both sides of the map here, Not.a.hero. Healing supports being provided by the side of 4Q. And in tandem with the Dawnbreaker, who also provides healing potential of her own. Wukong only have this Witch Doctor in the lane. And, you know, the Voodoo Restoration is okay, but compared to Nature's Attendance and Cold Embrace is not even close to the degree of regen you can get out of this. And what's kind of interesting...
Sorry, it gives them setup and it gives them save, because Cold Embrace into Dawnbreaker ulti, or Winter Wyvern ulti into Dawnbreaker ulti. So but they've got like little interactions here between the heroes, and like Winter Wyvern plus Tiny, I feel is becoming a very staple combo, even in the pro scene. We're seeing so many like Tiny tossing people into Winter's Curses, or following up with a double hero avalanche or triple hero avalanche. It's becoming a very good like mini combo, but fuck.
It's interesting. They actually picked Puck into mid-Tiny, knowing for a fact that it would be mid-Tiny, because they've already seen the support duo from 4Q. I mean, we spoke about this 2 weeks ago, the fact that this mid-Tiny is the actual de facto counter into Puck. You get great burst damage later in the game, you lane well against him, you generally progress around the map at a similar tempo, which means that if you show up to a fight at the same time he does, you generally are stronger. This is very, very bizarre from Enter the Wukong. On the bright side, though, it does give them an extremely fast draft. But this feels a bit risky, Not.a.hero. It feels like they're not allowed to actually make mistakes this game. Because if they do, I can easily envision a game where this Puck gets like absolutely nothing. Where every single fight he shows up, he's either getting Avatos or just gonna be a Winter Wyvern, shoving him with the R, Winter's Curse set up into everybody else killing you. And then suddenly, where's the team fight for Enter the Wukong? Everything else they have is primarily single target.
I 100% agree with you, but I kind of also see why they went for the Puck. They don't really have much like movement and catch, and Puck provides that. Like Tiny has that, he builds a blink. Beastmaster gets blink, but not like first or second item. Like he's going like full Helm of the Overlord, maybe another item in between, and then blink. So I guess Nyx can catch for you, but it's not a team fight set up for you, and they needed something in that regard. I do think Ember Spirit could have probably worked. He doesn't lane to, like, he lanes pretty well into Tiny, because Tiny doesn't have much armor until level 6. I do see why they picked the Puck. I think it was more in the general scape of the game. Like, we need something that can like be mobile and catch, but it's a hard game. Like Winter Wyvern just ultis him, Dawnbreaker sets up with a Q, or Tiny comes in, or there's a Centaur creep from the Bambi. Like it's going to be a hard one for this Puck, and he needs to have a good game. Like him and the Nyx at the moment is their tempo, they hunt, and it's very important. We do see Lundred banned, we do see Void Spirit taken out, which is interesting. They think this is a POS 1 Tiny, or
Unless
POS
they think
1,
it's POS 1 Dawnbreaker, possibly.
and then offlane Tiny, because they went for Lundred and Void Spirit. Mars.
Okay, looks like their belief is going to be vindicated somewhat here, because 4Q go for this last pick Mars. I have great difficulty believing that this Mars... I would still put Tiny mid, put Mars in the off lane, and put Dawnbreaker safe lane, honestly. Like, you rush this Deso on the Dawnbreaker, Tiny just plays his usual style of Dota, Mars goes for like some Armlet, BKB, Blink Rush, and then you just create this like massive zone of uber tanky heroes you can't get past, but they can kill you so quickly just utilizing their spells. Then you don't even need to scale into the ultra late game. Like, you just dominate this mid game, force into the Wukong to never be allowed to play Dota. I mean, this Puck only plays Dota when you have, Lincoln Sphere, Sanj and Kaya, maybe? And even then, there's no, like, guarantee, because there's even more lockdown coming in from the Mars now. This is a nice, like, semi-draft from the side of 4Q. They don't have, like, any one specific hero that's gonna out and out take control of the game and carry it on their own behest, but they said they have, like, a whole team always capable of fighting. The longest cooldown they have on their side here, Not.a.hero, is Dawnbreaker Solar Guardian. Everything else has extremely high uptime. They're just on the map over and over and over again.
And Winter Wyvern plus Bambi, if Dawnbreaker has ult, can still be playing active, because even if they don't have ultimates on the Wyvern, because of the heal mechanic they have in this game. So Bristle, that's a good pick. That is a really good pick. I like that a lot.
Bristle. Okay.
Yeah, like I like that safe lane Bristle. We've been seeing this resurgence, especially we see teams running IO Bristle quite a bit, especially gaming gladiators on the pro scene. But this is a good pick. Like they don't have a natural break building hero. I guess Tiny can do it at some stage in the game, but Mars definitely doesn't want to Silver's Edge. Neither does this Dawnbreaker. And this Bristle, if he hits his timings, he's going to be a solid frontline, especially like with Nyx, Witch Doctor Beastmaster behind him. Like, we've all seen Warpath hitting people for like 500 damage a hit. And now you've got Beastmaster aura on top of it.
Yeah, and that's one of the issues we've spoken about, right? The fact that Beastmaster with Bristleback, oftentimes Bristleback has issues with attack speed, but with Beastmaster, you don't have to worry about that. You can just go in for tankability and damage and not worry about items like the AC, for example. One thing that is curious to me about this pick is that, yes, they do have the Witch Doctor, which helps them beef up the damage. Most times I've seen this Bristleback, it's been in either one of two occasions. Either you have a hero like the IO, Dazzle behind him, that all they do is keep him alive in the midst of the fight, ensure that he can throw out as much damage as humanly possible, or you go the other route, get heroes like Warlock, where you try to amplify that damage itself and make sure that you hit harder.
Yeah,
I guess
multiple
Dazzle
quills.
also,
Yeah, just multiple quills, hitting people, fatal bonds.
this game they only have like Maledict, which is not the most reliable setup for more
I do
kills to
like
come
Witch
out
Doctor
fight.
plus Bristol Lane though, especially against a
It's a
strength
strong
hero.
lane.
Like
It's a nuts lane.
if Bristol goes like Q level 1 and Witch Doctor just goes like 1 level Coconut and Melee, like Spit, Melee, like 2 or 3 quills, a target is probably dying. And what is the reaction to that combo? Like, because Wyvern and Bambi can't really stop you from running at their heroes.
Yeah.
So they just need to man up in this. I think Bristleback is a very big win condition for them here. I know Puck needs to make a lot of space on the map, but this Bristle and Witch Doctor can take over this like Mars versus probably Wyvern, Safe Lane Bambi, because they won it against the Beastmaster. But yeah, so Mars plus Wyvern, if they just go a bit greedy with the skill build and Bristle goes Snot plus Quill Spray, and they just run at him. Like, just even if they don't kill him, just poke him down. 3 quills with Maledict on him, he's not going to be happy.
I fully agree that for Enter the Wukong to win this game, they always need to be on their aggressive posture, always need to be the ones pushing the tempo and making this game as uncomfortable for 4Q gaming as humanly possible. However, they need to show us that it's not just a strategy they have in mind, that they have the degree of execution necessary to make this work. So let us find out together in this first of the elimination games of the 3rd season of EGL One, helped with the hosting, of course, by Dell and Intel. Let's get into it. Let's go. It matters because here, if you get eliminated, unfortunately, you're not in the money here, not a hero. You're not anywhere close to being able to declare yourself the best. You're just going to be watching that 50k prize pool.
You were part of the best tournament in SA, though. Okay.
You were part of
it. Yeah, you were counted.
You were
part of
the
Fair enough. I do think into the Wukong for this game, they really need to be playing around the Stormbreaker ultimate cooldown. And a lot of teams are still having problems with it. Like, the CD like level 1 is 120 seconds. It scales down to like 90 seconds on level 3. And you need to treat it like a black hole. You need to treat it like a Ravage. If this thing is not up, you need to be running and fighting. If they have this ultimate, the moment it comes out, you run away from it like it's a Phoenix egg. Like, you don't even try and fight in that stuff.
And they have a couple of heroes that can move away from those areas in the midst of these fights. So they certainly will need to make sure that they do not get caught on the wrong side of these solo guardians. And there was a big smoke there wrapped around all the way through the high ground, getting a ward up next to the Ro16 pit and putting a sentry middle, anticipating that it would be warded up. But it seems like 4Q Gaming have not decided to do that. They read the play and they put the ward elsewhere. There will be a small fight over this bounty with Miposhka. Maybe a little bit too early with the Celestial Hammer. Now going to be in some danger, getting snotted down. Unicorn trying to go for the body blocks. Will he be able to do so? Now that the slows are on, he might, but there's not enough damage coming in. Dawnbreaker just like, okay.
Why did he? It didn't look like he was losing movement speed. Like, he had 4 stacks of snot on him and he just kept running. Like, okay. The Nyx couldn't even pass him.
Dawnbreaker balanced hero, dude.
I am going to say that though. I do think that Mr. Unicorn on this Nyx should have gotten boots first. Like, Nyx level 1, no boots. Like, especially as a pos 4. You want it to be able, like, especially against this Bambi, because she's naturally fast. 320 movement speed, you can outrun her, you can fight her, you can hit her, making these trades more effective, and then, because she is going to heal back up, you need to try and punish it before she skills it.
Speaking of this Enchantress, you went for Enchant level 1 and out of time, did go for this war build early on. You have to, like, we spoke earlier about how it's a bit of overcommitment to decide to go all in for the Axis, but early on you kind of have to. Like, this is kind of griefing your own lane, because look at him. Now he's being zoned out of his own lane by his ball. This is not a best
Bambi can hit you. She's speedy. Yeah, there we go. He's dead.
Yeah.
He should die.
Yeah, he's dead. He's definitely dead. First blood will happen as the Starbreaker comes out from Miposhka. Woof!
And
That
that is
was
why
not
you don't
supposed to
skill Boar's level 1. That was like a clinic. Like, you know, he gave us a clinic now. Like, he gave us a full clinic on why you don't skill Boar level 1 against Enchantress. Like,
Everybody still left in the tournament who hasn't played your elimination game. Please take this lesson on board. Don't do this. Don't do this. And it's going to be a while before he gets level 2 as a result. They're actually running onto Mr. Unicorn. Some impetus shots, Starbreaker, a couple of right clicks. That will be a kill. They might get a double out of time. Might be out of life here. Fortunately for him, it is only level 1 impetus. So the cooldown is fairly long.
But he just got back to lane.
Level 2 impetus. He'd be dead. Oh my god. The thing is, what sucks now is because he went for this level 1 bow, he actually has no presence in this lane, even if he does come back.
Yep, and he doesn't have a solve. Oh, the Nyx just solved him, but that's basically useless. Was it his solve or was it the Nyx's one? No, it was the Nyx's one.
Nyx's solve. Yeah, so
I guess level 1, you can still solve people. Oh, top lane, Mars is dead. Which we spoke about.
No, he's fine, dude. He's fine.
Nah, he's dead.
Ah, dude, he's fine.
Nah, he's dead, dude. He's so dead.
No, he's so dead, yeah. He doesn't have any magic wand, only has a magic stick. He is
That was the
biggest.
biggest. That was the biggest disagreement me and Snare have ever had. He's fine. No, he's dead. He's fine.
I'm trying to
no, he's
inject
dead.
some hopium, dude. You know why I want to inject hopium? Because that death that just happened now, it's not the last time I imagine he's gonna die like that.
Yeah,
so...
Witch Doctor against Strength Heroes, my man. Like you know, like back in the day. Oh, Beastmaster's dead again.
Well, that lane's over.
Yep.
Nice to meet you out of time. Good times, MFG. This is
Thank
the time
you
we start
for-
talking to your team about the next game.
Thank you for the gamers class about how not to level Beastmaster in certain situations.
He is learning
no.
though. He did go 2
No,
points
we-
into the wild axis here.
Yeah, we're just giving him a bit of slack. Like he skilled Call of the Wild Boar for the first blood. Like he had 2. Oh, Witch Doctor top lane.
Which doctor
coconut?
gets off the coconut? Will it bounce back?
bounces
Yes,
good.
it will. Oh no, Wolf. So unfortunate. One more tick of the maledict should kill him, and indeed it does. The final tick, indeed. Tweedledum going to be close enough to grab some experience and going to get to the secret shop to pick up a ring of health. So as much as that bottom lane is going in complete shambles for Enter the Wukong, this top lane going pretty much perfectly for Tweedledum. And it only really gets better from here because it's going to take quite a while before 4Q Gaming actually have the positioning to try and threaten your life as a bristleback.
The thing is, on top of that, this Tiny is having a really great time. Puck is CSing as well, which is expected, like because he can always farm the side camp here. But Tiny has got he's got a water rune bottle. Like he actually popped it, but he's got a nice full bottle, and he's playing aggressive. Like his spells are getting to that level now where Magic needs to, he really needs to watch out. Like a misplay from him here, he's gonna go down. 3 levels into the avalanche already.
The spell is so good, honestly.
Oh, okay. Nyx rotated for the water rune. He took the bottom one away from the Tiny, and Puck got the top one. So and that's what they need to keep doing. They need to keep doing that.
I actually might kill him. They're going to try for this. They don't have the level 6 just yet on the Puck, but they think they have a decent amount of magic damage. Puck's actually going to jaunt over to the other side, using this creep wave to get the aggro off the tier 1 tower. Magic will just be able to use this. Well, on the bright side, you don't get the kill, but because, like you said, they took away the water runes, you know that he's going to be using his bottle without replenishment. And more importantly, look where he is on the wave. He is not actually farming any of these creep camps. The tier 1 tower took most of the previous wave. Most of this wave as well he's going to miss out on because he has to keep backing off. Sure, it does cost the life of Beastmaster because you've left him alone without the Nyx being able to help him. But that lane was already lost. You were never going to be able to recover it, even if Nyx was there. At least Beastmaster gets experience, and now you deny Tiny a good progression in this game.
100%. And they're posturing again top. They're going to go on this Mars. There's a melee again. Oh, the spear's good though. Bristle needed to dodge that spear.
You know, actually, speaking of the spear, the interaction with Bristleback is quite interesting. For the most part, you only use the spear as a defensive measure, throwing back the BB so he can't keep chasing you. But there will come a point in this game here, Not.a.hero, where Tiny blinks in, tosses you back as Bristleback, and then you get speared to a tree very far away from your team and facing the entire enemy squad. And then you just have that awkward decision to make, like, do I go further onto the other side of the map, draw my team into trouble, or do I try to reach them but tank a lot of damage in the process? So Tweedledum, enjoy your happy game right now. You need to dominate Trickster as you can because it doesn't become as easy as it is now as the game goes on. Bot lane, out of time. Him and the Nyx Assassin of Unicorn are trying to combo up, but unfortunately the combo is truly in favor of 4Q Gaming. They get the 3rd kill of the game onto this Beastmaster. It's actually the 4th. Woo! Game is hot. Game is hot.
So many rolls. Like, this is knockout Dota, man. Like, Like, and this is psychological damage as well. Like, you know, if you lose the series, you're going home. Getting an early lead here will do your team a lot of confidence. It'll just set up like momentum for the rest of the series, because a lot of teams make or break it in knockout rounds.
Yeah. This is certainly the stage of the tournament where you get to see the mettle of a team being tested. Mid lane, oof, nice magic. He might die for this though. He went in to try and fight for the Siege Wagon. Very outplayed. What a debate, dude. He could have denied the Siege Wagon and he waited. He knew the puck would come in for it. And as soon as he does, max level Avalanche answers him and he ends up losing his life. Top lane though, they're trying to go for a play onto Tweedledum. But I'm not sure about this one here, Trickster. Look at your HP, my friend. This slow, Bristleback will always win out this trade, so back off, let him escape. Nonetheless though, for 4Q Gaming, that feels so good, dude. Killing Puck? Solo?
Yeah.
Oh,
and the thing is, it's with that big paw of his as well, the right click at the end, that slow swing, the paw just coming through and like just giving him a slap on the back and getting the kill. Like, I love Tiny, man. The hero is just like, it's so good. I know it's a bit busted at the moment, but it's just such a great hero to watch. Mid rotation.
I think it's very good, but I don't love it. I've seen too much of it, man. I feel how about this hero the same way I feel about Death Prophet, where
it's an entertaining hero though. I love the idea, is not entertaining though. Like DP is just presses R and then you need to run away.
What are you talking about, dude? She's very entertaining. When you see like 4 or 5 heroes jump her, and then she gets off like 2 siphons,
and
kills
then
all of them
die.
instead.
Top lane.
Like, what's happening? Top lane? What's happening is that Trickster is dying. That is painful. It does require a rotation from Mr. Unicorn. It does feel like this Nyx Assassin has been the engine to allow his team to make moves on the map. Unfortunately, it yet again will cost the life of Beastmaster. He is... Dude, there's no way you live here. Selly Hammer's up in 2 seconds. Miposhka's gonna find you.
This puck as well.
And they get the kill bottom onto this Beastmaster mid lane. Magic almost ended up losing his life as well, but Mr. Unicorn yet again coming in clutch for his team, fighting the 2-hero impale, which enables the puck to escape. If he doesn't find that, well, let's just think about the impact of Mr. Unicorn. If he doesn't go to this mid lane earlier, Tiny's way ahead, maybe even gets a kill onto Puck. If he doesn't go now top to kill Mars, Mars doesn't die. And if he's not middle, Puck dies again. Yes, Beastmaster's having a torrid game, but Mr. Unicorn is really opening up this map for into the Wukong in general, even if bottom is suffering.
Yeah, no, he's really just like rotating around this map. He's refilling this Puck's bottle as well, which is keeping him alive throughout these engagements, because how Tiny wins this lane is by he just keeps chipping you and chipping and chipping and chipping, and then eventually like you can't stay in the lane anymore. And they're trying to keep Magic topped up. They secured him the rune there as well, the Illy runes, and it's just keeping him full. And they're making a big rotation here, but the Enchantress scouted it. N1 scouted it. Oh, Witch Doctor found him.
Die for this, bro. Yep. M1 will die for this, but hashtag worth. It's much better to lose the Enchantress than to lose the Mars yet again. They might end up losing this Winter Wife. There's actually 2 fights happening. They dropped the Dream Coil for N1. Nature's Attendance, man. What a spell that is. Keeping N1 alive for so long.
They realized he was going to get away. Like, the Maledict wasn't doing enough damage with the heal, and then he had to commit Coil for it. So... And they didn't end up losing the Wyvern. Like, just solved back up. He's good to go.
What a player.
It is still a bit static at the moment. Like, it's 9 minutes in, hitting the 10-minute mark now. Like, teams aren't really rotating at the moment. Like, I guess these mids are waiting for the action runes. Oh, and it's a DD bottom. Magic's gonna get it.
Rotation top lane, though. 3 heroes on both sides have now put themselves in position to try and fight. Wolf taking quite a bit of damage from Tweedledum. There's a Solar Guardian, though, to help Wolf out. And here comes Miposhka making the rotation from bottom. There'll be a huge ultimate coming in from Trickster. And there's the first kill onto the Bristleback. Brian Adams certainly going to end up following him into the grave. The urn will tick him lower and lower. And that's going to be a quick kill for the N1 Enchantress. 2 heroes will fall on top. Yes, it does cost the life of Wolf, but who the hell cares? Now that you kill Bristleback, you get the first big Solar Guardian usage, and that's enough gold from Miposhka to also finish off the Echo Saber in that same fight.
Yeah, no, that is... This Dawn is getting scary. Like, he's sitting at 6k net worth. He's 2k net worth above the closest second, which is Tiny.
Middle, what?
Oh my gosh.
Just literally Selly Hammer into Starbreaker. Heads up. Puck, where was the spell? I don't think Puck actually anticipated that was going to happen. You know, sometimes you're playing these elusive heroes, you feel stronger than you are, and you're like, well, he's not going to kill me in one move. Turns out he actually can.
Well, it's 3 levels of the Starbreaker, and it hurts, man. It hurts.
Starbreaker, I think Out of Time is dead bottom. He does have Primal Roar. Dude, Primal Roar right now. Right now. It's too late.
Doesn't have mana.
It's too late. 3 seconds until Selly Hammer is up. He is
And he's got phase boots.
100% dead. 100% dead. One hit.
Oh, and that's raw use.
Yep. He needed to raw TP immediately, but his
Yeah, he
hesitation
didn't
ended
have
up
mana.
costing him his life.
He didn't have mana for the TP, and he had no like mangoes or stick even.
In the sword. And this comes from how hard the lane was lost earlier, right? He would have been further along in his item progression if though he had those items, or the earlier game didn't go as badly. Might have actually had even one more level would have probably given him enough stats so that he had the mana, but it ends up not being the case. Cost him his life. 12 minutes in, we still don't have this Helm of Dominator from the Beastmaster, but we're about to get this Blink Dagger from the Tiny here in this mid lane.
Yeah, and then it's go time. Then 4Q can definitely start running at this map. The towers aren't really being pressured, which is the good news. Like the top tower for Dire has been chipped down pretty low, but if you look at bottom, like Dire the Radiant tower is still very, very healthy. Like that's a good sign for them. Their mid tower is still very healthy. The only tower that's taking quite a significant amount of damage is Dire top, and that should be where 4Q makes their next movement. They want to take this tower, but Bristleback is a freaking bodyguard, man.
The reveal of middle, the Blink Dagger coming in from Barry. They almost killed Magic, but not enough damage at the end of the day. Mr. Unicorn, yet again, doing his work, interrupting the fight. Reaches attendance though, will delay this for a very long time. Out of time is here, but guess what? He doesn't have the Primal Roar. Still with the Maledict. They should be able to get this kill, but the Dawnbreaker buys space and time, comes in with the Solar Guardian. 40 minutes to bring down to attendance. Still keeping this Tiny alive. Are you kidding me? Miposhka finds a triple kill. Tiny doesn't even freaking die. And they're also going to chase for Brian Adams behind the tier 2 tower. He's trying to juke. He's trying to jive. But this dance will have to end eventually, my friend. As the Starbreaker from Miposhka makes it an ultra kill here in this mid lane. Everybody except for Bristleback is dead. They also get the tower. And Etienne, I was about to say to you that what a great time to have this Tiny come out with the Blink, because it's gonna combo up with the exact timing of Starbreaker with the Dawnbreaker ult coming back online, but I did not imagine in my wildest dreams it would go that well for them. 4 kills for the safe laner.
And that's without a level of Cold Embrace, by the way. Winter Wyvern has 0 levels in Cold Embrace. And a few, like 2 more levels on this Wyvern, that will be thrown on top of it as well. So that was nuts. Like, looking at like this is basically what you said as well. Oh wait, what's going on in the triangle? Yeah, they're finding the next.
Fighting. They're trying to make sure that they can steal away this farm from the Bristleback, so he has no recovery. N1 still alive. They're chasing Mr. Unicorn on the one side, N1 running on the other. Between Magic and Tweedledum, they will eventually kill N1. But
why?
Again, they recognize that they are having a rough time killing him. I think they would have killed him eventually, but Magic got a little bit impatient there. Now they don't have Dream Coil, so they can't set up for another fight off the back of this.
Yeah, that coil usage, he was running towards your base, so don't coil him. He's not going to get away. And yeah, I don't know that.
Hold that thought. They smoke bottom. They want Miposhka. They're going to try for this. They get the full combo. Maledict with the coconuts bouncing between himself and only a few creeps. Ooh, I mean, that is a gold, like the gold tally from a godlike 10x kill streak. Dude, look at his farm here on Miposhka. He, at 14 minutes, has Echo Saber, Deso, Phase, Soul Ring with 10 Magic Wands. Like, he is super, super cracked, so certainly a good gold tally. Here's Winter Wyvern, the first cold embrace of the game. We spoke earlier about the damage of Tweedledum, but now it's being turned against his own team. He will be able to kill Mr. Unicorn as a result of this. Barry blinking forward onto Tweedledum, tossing him in the air, preventing him from running down Wolf. Out of time, will at least be able to get that kill. It's a 1-1 engagement so far. Trickster comes in, does have the arena at the ready, but no vision of a target to apply this on. So they will let all of these heroes escape. They got what they really wanted, which was a kill onto Miposhka. Unfortunately, the hero...
I think we lost Snare there for a second. He should be back any moment.
Oops.
Yeah,
Sorry.
there we go. Yeah, welcome back. I saw your lips moving, but nothing was coming out.
Everything was done. What a fight though. Like, this game is just feeling very, very hard. Like, sure, they're gonna maybe get a kill or two down bottom, but they're losing so much map control so quickly. Nyx, Vendetta hit, Mally with the Death Ward. That should be enough damage. Damn, that's a lot.
I don't know if that's worth though. They're killing this Enchantress over and over again, but this Death Ward is a very valuable tool for them at the moment. We saw like that was the reason they could bring down the Dawnbreaker. Top lane out of time is going down.
Oh my gosh, she's so dead.
Can Out of Time catch a break? Possibly, maybe. Like, maybe 4Q Gaming, I think we need to send a message to all of them and say, guys, Out of Time's been having a rough day. Things have been difficult since the laning phase. Just cut him some slack, man.
Flashback. Grey screen, Out of Time sitting there with a portrait of Beastmaster, staring at his ball lying in the corner.
I mean, think about it, right? He died 8 times. He spent at least, like, what, 5 minutes of this game just not playing
Maledict
it.
got him.
Dead. Maledict, will it connect? Yes, it does. But where are the usages of these core sprays? Tweedledum is inside the
so much
Solar Guardian
damage.
as well as this Arena of Blood. This Deso Echo build with the Starbreaker from Miposhka. And now, guess what? Starbreaker is even stronger. Aghanim Shard is flying in for this Dawn. And she is going to be hitting even harder than she's already been doing. Man, this game... I love this meaty strat that they're running. 7k gold up right now, but it's not just about this gold lead. It's about how far ahead they are in items. Bristleback still needs to finish Aghanim Scepter, but here we have this Tiny about to get Echo. Dawnbreaker has Shard, Deso with the Echo Saber. This Mars about to finish. Is this Blink or Armlets, I think? It's a full Blink coming in from the Mars right now. This item advantage that 4Q enjoy is so good.
Yeah, then this Arena plus the Dawnbreaker combo is really dirty. But Mr. Unicorn and the Nyx Assassin needs to start getting into these like Dawnbreaker ultis and just hitting Carapace like before he lands. Just trying to... Oh, he's just disappeared. Never mind.
Here's the issue, right? It's exactly like what you mentioned. In China, they literally consider Nyx the Dawnbreaker counter. You can't pick Dawnbreaker unless you ban Nyx. Yeah, because of the Carapace, right? But look what the Nyx... This will go back to what we were talking about earlier, right? Nyx's job, he's not allowed to just play one area of the map. Everyone needs so much help, right? That he needs to be practically everywhere. They don't have vision without him because of how hard Beastmaster is struggling just in general on the map. They don't have any team fight like presence really because Puck is just dying every single time at the very beginning. Speaking of, Puck's about to die right now. There's no way that you survive, my friend. You're gonna try, but there's no way. 2 Blink Daggers around you. Doesn't even avalanche you. He clubs you again. Dude, you mentioned it earlier. They're trying to inflict emotional and psychic damage, and that's what they're doing right now with the way they're playing.
And look at N1 standing in this Bristleback's face on this Enchantress. He doesn't care. Like, he really just doesn't care. Like, baiting it. Dawn ulti coming in. And he's gone.
Well, you tried with the Death Ward there, Brian Adams, but gets cancelled out instantly with the Avalanche. Nice try. Nice Aghanim shot there. The old switcheroo, but now you are deadaroo, my friend. And that is 23-9 on the map in general. 4Q Gaming going to push this tier 2 tower. Echo Saber finish for the Tiny as well. Etienne, Not.a.hero. You've been a captain before of many teams. Good sir, we know what's happening in the team communication of Enter the Wukong. We're thinking about game number 2, aren't we? The way things are going right now.
Yeah, I do still think they have tools to win this. Like they need to be cutting lanes with this Puck. Oh my gosh, he's just...
What Puck? What Puck? The Puck is trying to escape here, but Puck will not be allowed to do so. Mr. Unicorn will die. Dude, Tiny had enough time to be hitting a tower and then be like, I guess I'll go kill a Puck, and still come back and end off the tier 2 tower.
Yeah, we did say it though, like when you get first 2 picks, Dawnbreaker, Tiny, we were like, okay, well, they've won the draft. Like and it's just, and the lane he had, like I said in the draft, they drafted really well. This Beastmaster pick, they reacted to it with the Enchantress, making this Beastmaster like completely null and void. And like he hasn't had a game. Like he's got 5.8k net worth. Witch Doctor is like on his heels, like he's 1,000 gold behind him. But Puck hasn't been doing much better. Like you spoke about it. Tiny completely destroys Puck in the mid lane. It is seemed like their counter, and there's a death ward being used on N1, and he's probably going to survive.
Let's see here what level Maledict we have. Level 4, but we do not have anything close to level 20. So as a result, as you said, there will be survival on this Enchantress. I remember once you spoke to me about the Snapfire, right? And that when you have Winter Wyvern with Cold Embrace plus Holy Locket, you heal straight through the big burst of the globs. The same situation in this game. They don't even need the Holy Locket. Just between Attendance and Cold Embrace, Maledict literally does 0 damage. Like literally, like actually nothing.
And then you've got Solar Guardian as well, just in case. Just in case. Dawnbreaker has a Bash and all, which is very interesting. I thought he was just going to go like Blink BKB, because this Deso already has 12 stacks on it. And he's opted for the Basher, which is really annoying, because if Starbreaker, one of the first 2 hits bashes you getting stunned into oblivion, and you're going to be dying 100%.
And also it's Dawnbreaker with Basher, you get a little bit of bonus coming out of that strength, so more right-click output from her, more tankability, everything that a Dawnbreaker loves and needs.
There's very little sentries on the map from Radiant, and this Nick should really be playing more in the face of 4Q, even if he dies. Like, they have 2 sentries down that I can see on the minimap at the moment, but he needs to be running in between these heroes and trying to like figure out what their move is, where they are, just to create some space for his cause. Because Bristleback, he's got Ags, like he's not under farm, but he needs this BKB very quickly, and I don't think that's going to help at the moment, Snare, because 12 stacks on Deso, they need armor. Okay, there's a Vlad's on the Beastmaster now. He went Helm of the Dominator, he's got the Vlads now. So that's at least a little bit, but it's not enough. Like, this Dawnbreaker is going to melt you.
Magic might die. He's just forcing the team to try and chase him, wasting their time as much as humanly possible. But this is actually a very dangerous endeavor that you're on right now, Magic. Blink Dagger up again in 2 seconds. Will he be able to get away? Okay, he's good. He's fine. Well, while we are watching,
he's greedy.
Magic, no, mate!
He's greedy. He saw the rune.
That's the biggest debate ever. Oh no, Brian Adams will be able to get off a default combo, but look at this, Wukongs is gaining HP during Maledict's Death Ward. That's how you know this is an easy game. Game is super hard right now. 4Q Gaming are just...
I want to see the fight recap there, how much damage Death Ward did, because it'll still show. Like, come on, show me fight recap.
Alright, while the fight recap is loading to allow Etienne to get the damage numbers, we are going to be reminding everybody at home that right now, it's not just simply the side of 4Q Gaming that are seemingly winning the game, but you at home can also become involved and become winners with us. As today, we're not giving away a mouse pad, we're giving away a pair of Evetech Stealth Gaming Glasses. All of us occupy too many of these degenerate hours, so we understand that our eyes don't always get the protection they deserve. So get yourself some Evetech Stealth Gaming Glasses, and how you do so is just type in EGL One, all in small caps, just once. EGL One as one word with 1 as the number, and then you'll enter yourself into the lucky draw. One participant will walk away with these stealth glasses and be able to extend their gaming hours even deeper into the night. So shout out to Evetech for giving that away. Get a hold of this. And of course, you know, I'm sure right now, Enter the Wukong hope that they had not just stealth gaming glasses, but hide this game glasses, because they do not want to be here anymore.
Hide this game glasses? Is that like the opposite of beer glasses? Something that you don't want to see. But anyway, Witchstuff did 1,700 damage there with Death Ward, and Dawnbreaker didn't lose a single ounce of HP. What is coil usage, man? Like, what's the play here? Like, I don't understand. Are they just kind of throwing spells at the moment, trying getting this game done? But like, if they want to still fight, you can't just do that. Like, they need to hold their spells and use them effectively.
You need to have this coconut. Oh no!
They're not learning!
They're gonna try and kill her. At the same time though, Trickster jumps in, gets on an arena up to 2, out of time, will end up dying again, and the big carry hero of Tweedledum, he is falling very low. He will still manage to survive. They do eventually kill the Bambi, but it does mean that they spent most of their fight just chasing an Enchantress. Huge Winter's Curse onto the Witch Doctor. He is dead 100%. Tweedledum ended up bashing him in the face. Here, Barry jumping forward, getting off the avalanche toss, finding the puck and killing her. She's gone, dead and buried. No buyback available. Out of time will die as well without buyback too. Tweedledum, the lone survivor of this fight, still hasn't died just yet, but at this point doesn't feel tanky enough to get back into the fray either. And because Brian Adams has already committed the Death Ward, he has to wait another 10 seconds until this is online. And that's more than enough time for 4Q Gaming to clean up this mid lane of Rax.
Yeah, this is... I don't know, like, this game feels pretty much like over. Like, earlier on I saw a little bit of avenues for them to get back into this game, but this puck 25 minutes into the game, he's got Blink Dagger, Witchblade, and he's the main source of catch at the moment. Like, Beastmaster, no Helm of the Overlord again. Oh, there's a spear. Bristleback. Okay,
he messed it up. You know, earlier we were talking about the combo with the spear, where you spear someone super far back and then you toss them back as well. He was waiting for that play there, but he caught the tier 3. Feels bad. It's fine. It's okay.
Damn tier 3s.
It's copium though. I'm saying it's okay for 4Q because they're like, oh, we got a lane of Rax. It's not okay for Enter the Wukong. And you know, you were asking earlier about like their lack of utilizing this coil in an efficient manner. We're just seeing this, that every single time, even if they find like a favorable kill on Enchantress, there's never enough spells online at the same time to commit onto one big target. And that's allowing 4Q Gaming to sort of stagger how they use their ultimates. They don't actually have to use all of them at once anymore. You can use the Winter's Curse onto a few targets.
Yeah, the issue is they have to get onto this Winter Wyvern, and they've got no heroes to do that. Like, Nyx can find him, but he's not going to kill him. Puck at the moment doesn't have enough damage to kill him, and none of the other heroes really can jump. But they have to get on top of this Wyvern, because the Cold Embrace is doing way too much work, and then he's got the ulti as well. And Wolf has been using his spells very, very efficiently. Like, he's ulting the right targets, he's Cold Embracing the right targets, and he's always hitting someone that's got Maledict on him. And as long as his Winter Wyvern's alive, I don't see any of these scores going down.
Top lane, they're going for Tweedledum. They really want to kill him. Arena is out onto Out of Time, as well as onto the Brian Adams Witch Doctor Winter's Curse. Dragging Out of Time towards Mr. Unicorn here. And both of them should die as a result of this, as Miposhka jumps in with the Selly Hammer. Starbreaker onto both. Earns a double kill as a result. Magic and Tweedledum, what can they do here? You do not have access to the Dream Coil. You still do not have a BKB. And they're just ignoring you. And here's the Avalanche Toss. Here's the combo, Etienne. Really happens, and look how disgusting it looks. Enter the Wukong agree that this is too much. It's too much damage. It's too much hurt. GG is cold.
That was the nail.
Game 1. 4Q Gaming looking like they are miles ahead on Enter the Wukong from this Game 1 victory, because Enter the Wukong were never actually allowed to play Dota. It never felt like they had a chance or a foothold in this game, literally from minute 0.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, you need to... I know this is SA and we kind of like, we have our own little mini meta, but to a degree, you need to start following like the bigger teams in our country and overseas. Or not following, but you need to see what is absolutely busted. And you cannot give first 2 picks Tiny Dawnbreaker. Like, you cannot do that. Like, any team will snap these 2 heroes up. Like, they will do it. Like, you cannot give those away and then open your draft up with Witch Doctor plus Nyx Assassin. In what universe is Witch Doctor going to be banned?
Yeah,
at all.
Witch Doctor's never going to be banned.
So
even
why
Nyx,
are you first picking it? Like, your first pick needs to be something flexible that the other team is going to pick, or you know they are going to ban. And the other team is probably not going to pick Witch Doctor or Nyx, and they're probably not going to ban them as well. So rather secure yourself something like the Stormbreaker, which is going to be contested, can be played in multiple roles, same with the Tiny, and then you build your draft around those 2 heroes, because Tiny Dawnbreaker gives you catch, gives you team fight, gives you heal, gives you tower push, because Tiny can hit a tower. Dawnbreaker is going this Deso build, so that's tower push. 2 picks, and you build your entire draft around it, and you know you're good. Enter the Wukong opened up with these 2 heroes, and then they struggle to complete their draft.
Yep. I mean, we also see, generally speaking, that most of these teams nowadays don't necessarily go for these opening duo of supports. If you must shift later to having them be supports, so be it. But like you mentioned, open with flexibility and then put them in certain roles later on. They could have easily answered, say, with like a Razor Nyx. Or hell, it was first break Dawnbreaker. They could have gone Razor Tiny on the side of Enter the Wukong. And then suddenly the game is markedly different, because you at least have some big automatic team fight no matter what. You're not being overrun by this Dawnbreaker every single time, guaranteed. There were some laning issues that we saw coming out of 4Q from Enter the Wukong as well, which they didn't necessarily address. But for me, I think it showed the difference between where they are drafting wise. You mentioned it in the draft, right? You were saying that 4Q is drafting so intelligently, and I could see the issue when Enter the Wukong still picked quote-unquote bad heroes into what 4Q had. It made sense for their draft, but we're past the stage of Dota where you can just pick for your draft anymore. You have to take into account what the opponent is doing, take into account where the meta is shifting, and try to put yourself in as good a position as possible, especially off of those first 2 picks. Well, as a result of this game, 4Q is now 1 game ahead here on the side of 4Q Gaming. If they win the next one, then they will be proceeding through the lower bracket, and they will be seeing Into the Wukong be the first team eliminated here from EGL One Season 3. Obviously, they do not want that. This is a wildcard team as well. Some might argue they might not even have supposed to be here. They got that extra lottery, that extra rabbit out of the hat to be here, so they need to try and bring out some magic yet again. Ha! going into game number 2. So we're going to be taking a small break, and when we return, the continuation of Enter the Wukong versus 4Q Gaming and the continuation of the first elimination series here in the 3rd season of EGL One, brought to you of course by Dell and Intel. My name is Snare and I'm joined by Not.a.hero, the man with the brain and the knowledge, and we'll be right back for game number 2 here in the series. Don't go anywhere. Elimination Dota will resume right after this.
Been down the darkest roads, didn't think I could get out. Now I just walk on through, the ghosts are all around. Here and I can't be moved, I never look back. They start creeping in, but I'm leaving them in the past. Don't tell me that I'm dreaming, don't tell me that I'm wrong, 'cause I've heard it all before. And just look where I am now. We can break the cycle, find our own way out. 'Cause I'm right at the end of the tunnel, so I look at myself. The ghosts are all around. The ghosts are all around. Been down the darkest roads, I know that it's true. So throw your dirt at me, I'll make it look brand new. They all know my name, not an easy shot. Turn these tears into gold, they shine like what I've lost. Don't tell me that I'm dreaming, don't tell me that I'm
Welcome back, one and all, here to EGL One Season 3. We are right in the middle of our first elimination game between 4K Gaming and the side of Enter the Wukong. 4K Gaming, of course, find themselves in this precarious position because of a very intriguing loss in the upper bracket. Went to the Wukong, they were our wildcard team. They came into this one expecting to do not necessarily great things, but to try and make as deep a run into the tournament as possible. Unfortunately, being our wildcard team, they've had the awful luck of first being seeded against the Benchwarmers, former Energy squad, or more importantly, former podium finishing squad here in EGL One. And of course, now they are in the mix against 4K Gaming and finding themselves really up against it. We are going to be finding out together, though, if they have what it takes to try and make this a competitive series. And of course, the knowledge is not going to come from me, Snare, but it's Not.a.hero. He needs to drop dive on us. Fam, what do they need to do? What strats can they pull out of here?
Well, they need to not have their Witch Doctor be the hero that does the most damage in the previous game by a significant amount, and he couldn't kill anyone. Witch Doctor did 17k. The closest second was 15. And that was Bristle. So
a Bristle with Aghanim Scepter. That was the last overall pick in the draft, mind you.
Yeah, the Bristle gave them a window, but like Magic on this puck just never, he never had a game. He was 0-7-3 on a puck. And this is one of the heroes that we also kind of look at and go like, this hero is kind of busted. And it did not look, but you just don't pick it into Tiny. And you don't pick it into Tiny Dawnbreaker because if you're not coiling the Dawnbreaker, he's going to save who's ever in the coil. And it was just, I don't know, the drafting really needs work. You can't give Dawnbreaker Tiny, Opener, or like you even mentioned, like Razor Tiny. It's just too strong. It's too flexible. It gives you way too much like flexibility around your draft, and you can build your entire draft around it. And that's the main thing. Into the Wukong had nothing to build their draft around. They opened with Witch Doctor Nyx. We spoke about it just before the break. And how do you build a draft around Witch Doctor Nyx? It leaves you so many gaps. Okay, we don't really have Teamfight at the moment. We don't really have Catch. Now this is Winter Wyvern. They just need to go back to the drawing board. I always like when you find your back up against the wall, a lot of teams then opt for like cheese picks. Like we always spend, we're picking stuns for every single hero in our draft. Even the carry, we'll pick him Sven or Chaos Knight or something. But every single hero in our draft will have a stun. It allows your game to be executed more crisply, and it makes it easier to play Dota. It's way easier to go into a team fight if one of your heroes gets caught, there's 4 other people that can follow up and chain stun, and they just need to simplify, pick stuns, don't overdraft themselves, and please don't pick the 2 supports first.
please don't pick the 2 supports first. Enter the Wukong. You've just gotten yourself a free coaching session out of Not.a.hero here. So let us hope that and pray that they are going to be following this advice as we are about to get into our second draft of the day. Before we do so, everybody at home, please remember that if you want to be a part of the action, of course, you being at home just watching is already part of the action. But first, come say hello in chat. But also, more importantly, type in EGL One, all small caps, if you haven't already. If you have, it's done and dusted. You're already inside the draw. But if you haven't, enter yourself into the draw to get yourself a pair of Evetech Stealth Gaming Glasses, which will help you a lot in being able to play in long into the night as humanly possible. You sometimes are going to need it, especially if you're a fan of Enter the Wukongs or one of their player members. We need some practice after this. So let us see what they're going to get for ourselves going into the second game, going into the second draft. First pick overall here, Enter the Wukong. We'll start with this Marcy, having banned out Tiny and the Zeus.
Change.
So it's not all bad. They're learning. They're learning.
That's a very nice change.
Don't give them that hero. Yeah.
It's a very nice change. Take out the Tiny, take out the Zeus. Both are broken. The Dawnbreaker was banned by 4Q because I didn't have first pick. But this Marcy pick is nice. It can go 4, it can go 5. We've seen some 3 Marcys. I hope it's not a 3. Like, the hero is so weird actually, and I'm very surprised that it's become so popular because it has the ultimate that you would think it'll be a mid or a 3, but the rest of its tool set is all, okay, no, this hero is a support, it's going to do well. And we said it the other day, this is an easier to play Earth Spirit. Like, that's what Marcy is. She's an easier to play Earth Spirit, she does the same thing, and Earth Spirit's ulti is terrible as well, so I guess it doesn't really matter. They're exactly the same hero, just in different forms. 4Q then reactive, Dazzle plus DK. Dazzle! Yeah. Seen some popularity, mainly because of the heal. It was buffed, the damage per tick and heal was buffed, so damage and heal was buffed, yeah. Okay, we got it.
That's a pretty broken shot as well. Like, that Dazzle shot is
so good.
Ridiculous.
I don't know if you're watching, I think you were actually casting it, where people were doing tiny toss combos into Dazzle shot on pucks.
Yeah, we did see a game of that, yeah. It was
really like I was tuning in and like, the core Tiny kept doing like avalanche stuns, toss back onto the Dazzle, and he just like sheeps him while he's still in the air. It was bonkers.
And there's nothing you can do. And there's like, you're just there sitting and being like, well, this kind of sucks. This is awkward. This is not where I really wanted to be. But I'm kind of surprised that they went Dazzle DK. Like, Razor was still in the pool that they could have gone for. Now that Tiny has been banned, suddenly Puck is looking like a very viable option to pick up. But the DK in particular, and also there's Viper still in the pool. Like, talk to me about why do you think they went for a DK first phase here?
It still gives them flexibility because you can obviously do this like mid or offlane, and we've even seen some pos 1 DKs recently. It's probably going to be a 3. Like, I think that's the hero's best position at the moment. It just apologies. It just doesn't play quick enough from the mid lane. Like, you can only like rotate and gank when you have Dragon Form. So I do think as a 3 it's really good. You become this tower bodyguard and also like a tower pressure, because you could just like pop Dragon Form, hit a tower a few times, people have to react to you. Dazzle plus DK seems a bit excessive. It's a lot of tankiness, a lot of heal, but this Dazzle might be for something else. Like, it might be for something like a Husk. That's probably the old school counter. Troll Warlord with Dazzle is pretty busted, but Troll can't win Dota games, so probably won't do that.
You can't that hero sucks.
They take out Ursa, and then into the Wukong take out Puck. So they didn't opt to keep it for themselves. The only issue I have with this Viper pick is this DK is maybe not a mid DK, and you just pick Viper. I guess in the overall sense of the game, like, yeah, you've got the break mechanic now, and the hero is decent as a 3, but it feels like they directly drafted this Viper for this Dragonite, and the only way I like that is if they laning against each other.
No, bright side. I mean, the way I look at it as well is it's Viper not only covers the DK with the Nether Toxin, but it also prevents 4Q from going for this Dazzle Bristleback combo, which has been extremely popular as well when we have that hero. You mentioned it as well in the last game, so you can't really pick Bristleback in this situation. And it doesn't, like, I'm also a bit worried about it being core, but the one thing we did want from Enter the Wukong is that they needed to open their draft with flexibility. Marcy can give you 4-5, Viper can give you 2, 3, 4, and 5 technically. We've seen the hero occupy all of those roles, so they could just downgrade him later and say, well, we just have Nether Toxin. He's not the most important aspect of our draft, but it prevents 4Q from making DK the centerpiece of their draft, or for picking heroes that are very good with Dazzle, but that also have big passives and make them impossible to play. Even Razor, I'm pretty sure 4Q banned that hero because they're like, well, are we really trying to play this Razor in a game where they're going to have this Viper just slowing him up, forcing him to just hate life a little bit. Maybe not. Make him even slower. Yeah. Take him out. We don't give it to them, and we make sure we don't have to play a counter into a hero.
Something you just mentioned, I really want to touch on. Like this Viper can go 5, and I don't dislike Marcy Viper supports. Like they can actually like make a lot of space. They can kill people by themselves, just the two of them. Like Viper ulti, Marcy grabs you. Like they can make a lot of nuisance here. And he gives a Tuskar. I like it. I'm a big Tusk fan always. I just don't see how they benefit off this Tusk yet. It's more catch, but Tusk doesn't like playing into Marcy. She just jumps away. Viper is a really iffy target to go on. They then go for this Undying pickup. 2 strength heroes already. No real tombstone hitters at the moment, so that's is this an Enter the Wukong hero Snare? I don't know. It was banned the previous game, so I guess
banned fairly early as well, right? So maybe
so I guess there was there's some homework done, but I don't see this Undying being a problem. The heroes or like this hero is strong, but not necessarily because of like his laning presence, but in team fights, Tombstone gives so much vision, and it's the vision that's the bonus. Like just the zombies popping up, and you can see where people are. But I don't see Into the Wukong having heroes that can benefit off that at the moment. Like you don't. Marcy can probably find someone for you, but now you've got Odie with it. Like you can protect the Tombstone a little bit. There's your Tombstone hitter, Weaver, and I like it. There's no stuns. That's
such a good Weaver game.
It's a good Weaver pick. Like Marcy can grab him, but it's hard because you'll always see it coming. And Weaver plus Tusk, Geminate attack plus tag team.
10 seconds.
It's crazy. I mean, it's Geminate attack plus tag team. It's the once you go into the middle of the fight, getting bugs onto multiple heroes at once is not that difficult. It's like you mentioned, a tombstone hitter rather. It's a hero that because there's no stuns can have a free game in the safe lane. I imagine this has to be carry Weaver. It's also one of the best heroes in the entire game of Dota 2 versus a draft that is all about kiting and lacks like guaranteed team fight. Right now, Enter the Wukong have pretty much 0 team fight, and they have some kiting, sure, but Weaver's like, cool, kite me, hit me with the Viper Strike, awesome. Get me with that Astral Imprisonment, great stuff. I just press one button, and then suddenly most of your team fight presence is just gone. Marcy will never get strong enough to kill me. But the most important thing in my mind is this lane, dude. How do you beat a Dazzle Weaver lane? How? How?
You don't. You just you try and maintain creep aggro, and then the thing is like you can kind of with this. Oh no, not even like I wanted to say like Dazzle plus Weaver can beat this Viper down level 1 too. So even when levels come around, I don't think it gets much better. So you try lane it. That's how you do it.
I like that idea actually. I mean, why not?
Yeah. Weaver doesn't like tri lanes though. Like he's elusive, but he never feels safe in the lane. This OD pick did probably move this Dragonite to the off lane. I even thought like maybe this is a mid Tusk and an off lane DK, but you don't want to lane Tusk into OD or Dragonite into OD. So the flex will probably come out now. DK will go off lane, and they need to pick up something that can lane into this. Oh, they banned Coddle. That would have been a good pick.
That's a great ban actually.
That would have been a really good pick. Like Coddle mid against OD, doesn't care. They've got enough damage, enough tower push. Coddle would have been a bonkers pick. That's a really good ban.
What do they get for the safe lane? Because another really good ban is this 4Q ban on the Faceless Void. I think that would have been phenomenal for them. Getting them guaranteed lockdown into the Weaver, the DK, as well as some late game scaling damage, which they kind of don't really have right now outside of the OD. So what do we want to see coming out here for Tweedledum?
They can do CK. Like it's not great against Dazzle, but the thing is like there's not much AoE apart from bugs and breathe fire. But Chaos Knights, he can get on top of these heroes. Like Weaver doesn't like playing against him. He's too tanky, and he can always fight you back if you like on even footing on net worth. But they need something tanky. So I would say like CK. They can go back for the Bristle, but this time they've got Undying with it, which is a bit weird. I don't think Weaver cares much about Bristleback as well. It's not
one of the better matchups. You're actually fine.
Yeah, like you can also even go the Diff Blade Weaver, and then you don't really care about Bristle. You just burn his mana and then leave him alone. So,
and they have DK, right? Breathe Fire like hurts Bristleback a lot these days.
DK.
And it's almost like Not.a.hero knows what he's talking about when he talks about Dota. As this last pick, CK will emerge right now. It's a pretty decent CK pick, right? Fills a lot of the holes that you mentioned. Decent laning prowess as well. Even if this is the DK that goes into the off lane, as CK you don't really care about it. You're just like, cool mate, fine, whatever. And you actually do have some kill threat. If this is the Viper 5 we were talking about earlier, this is a very scary lane to play into. CK Viper. There's guaranteed ways of bringing you down, especially once level 3 rolls around. So you have to play very, very carefully. And they won't have the Dazzle in that lane. It's only going to be the Tusk who saves you going forward, not necessarily by helping you drag back. And you do not want to go closer to the fight onto a Viper and a CK.
I want to see Pugna. Right now, I want to see a Pugna pick. The heroes disappeared off the map. I don't know why. But I want to see a Pugna pick mid-year for 4Q. That would be so bonkers. Oh, they went Lina. Yeah, the Pugna's a bit dead. But Pugna would have been so lucky. Like, it's good against CK, it provides you with, like, a secondary save, but I guess OD can just, like, mess with you then. But, like, Death, like, the Nether Ward in this game would have been so bonkers. Like, all of these heroes want to click and cast spells apart from CK. So...
We do get Lina. I think this is also a really good Lina game though, right? Good against the CK illusions, decent lane into the OD, another aspect of being able to hit the tombstone down the line.
Lina hurts also, my brain though. Like, Lina hurts my brain so much because... Like, if I look at the hero on paper, it's like, she's got everything she needs, like, to be one of these mids that are popular at the moment. She can farm the small camp on the side, she can rotate for the runes and then gank, like, she can set tempo because she can hit towers quite effectively, but then they just don't win. Like, apart from Somnus having that monster Lina game 6 months ago, no other Lina gamers looked like that. It looks like the hero needs 35 minutes before it really gets good. BSJ theory crafted that the spell casting Lina build was going to come back when the changes came in. It just wasn't good. Yeah, it wasn't good. Now Lina's are going like Boots of Travel BKB, first 2 items. Just so you can be everywhere on the map because she doesn't really have mobility. And then you need to go into BKB as your second item. It's a bit weird. Like, I don't know what your thoughts are, but it just doesn't feel natural. Like,
you know what it feels like to me, right? This feels like this Lina hero is in a place where everything has to go well for her, right? You have to be able to get a good lane. All the things that you were mentioning about why she's good, being able to take out the small camp, being able to force out these waves, being able to match up very well against pretty much anybody in the game, just being able, even the item build. How many heroes are good just for off the back of BKB bots? Not that many, but Lina can be. However, she needs to get there at a very good timing. Every single rotation you make with this hero needs to pan off. Then you need to snowball into finding more and more items. It feels like it's the wrong mix of having to farm, but also having to fight constantly. You know, there's a lot of heroes in the game right now that can get 1 or 2 items and say, sweet, I'm going to go get gold off of kills. Some other heroes that are like, I'm not going to kill anybody, I'm just going to farm. Lina needs to do all of it all the time, or she just feels very underwhelming relative to the rest of her compatriots. But we're getting into this game here, Not.a.hero, and we'll be seeing if 4Q Gaming can utilize this Lina and find themselves with a 2-0 victory, or if Enter the Wukongs will find a way past the Lina and figure out this last pick, get themselves into Game 3. Because if they don't, they will be the first team eliminated here from EGL One Season 3, brought to you by Intel.
The Lina pick does give them insane tower push. Oh, yeah, wait, we're getting a little brawl here. OD's running in.
Fight happening. OD went in. Tombstone coming out. But they don't have the lockdown to keep these heroes next to the Tombstone. They're trying with Out of Time to run down Extort with the poison attack. But N1 on hand to destroy some of these zombies, body block the movement. So they will not be able to find the kill that they need into the Wukongs. Yeah, I was about to say, dude, level 1 Tombstone has been committed. You do not feel good about this at all.
So horrible. Like, I'm a big fan with Undying. You go 1-2-1. Like, Tombstone comes out level 4, and then it's level 1. Like, this level 1 Tombstone is horrendous. DK, you take 1 level of it because the mana cost actually increases as it goes up. Your hero doesn't have the mana pool for it, so you keep it at level 1 for 85 mana. But Soul Rip, this hero's best ability. It does so much damage if you put 2 levels into it. It's 25 damage per unit, like 5 creeps. Cool. Like, I'm smacking you with some damage. And it's also a heal mechanic, which we spoke about in these laning phases. Even though CK doesn't really need it, so you can probably just use it straight up to your ass.
The smoke gang going bottom. These 2 supports are going to try and combo up to kill Out of Time. They've isolated who is the weak point on the team, and they know it's coming from the off lanes. The 3-position Viper. We anticipated in the draft that they should probably shift the priority down on the hero, but they do not end up doing so. He ends up being the first blood of the game. This is horrible. Now Wolf can just decide who's going to go top, N1 or Wolf. Either of them can do so, but they don't have to because this is a DK who's not playing into a Viper lane. And because they didn't go for this Soul Rip and or Decay level 1 on the
Econ
Undying,
zone.
there's literally no threat.
Tombstone. Yeah,
He's
there's
gonna commit the
Tombstone.
Tombstone. Just TP
And
up,
then
yeah.
TP.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Peace out, bro.
Like, level 1 Tombstone is so bad. And it doesn't even go back to... Like, he's just TP the tower. Like, he's level 2, he's got Dragon Blood. He's pretty okay. The Tombstone being down is going to push the creep wave as well. So, Extort's perfectly fine here. Like, he's more than content just to, like, wait for this creep wave to push back now. And he's got a double creep wave coming in. He's probably going to hit another level of Dragon Blood. And then I don't think they can kill him. Like, Tuscan keeps sitting bottom. Like, it's very, very chill for 4Q gaming at the moment.
Oh, boy. Well, on bright side,
like,
though, for Enter the
skill-
Wukong, we spoke...
Skilling is so important, and like I think like Into the Wukong's just making those little mistakes because just like that boar skill in the first game and now this Tombstone skill, it just makes them not have any pressure in the lanes. And to quote the famous BSJ, you want to be as strong in the lanes as possible at all times, whether it's buying a bracer, buying a Wraith Band, or like skilling. Like people even like Jugs at one point started experimenting with going back for stats over more levels of crit just to try and be as strong as possible at all stages of the game.
Unfortunately, right now, it is in favor very heavily of 4Q Gaming. The one bright spot is that because Extort is alone in this top lane, it does mean that that tri-lane bottom might end up robbing the Weaver of experience. And this CS difference, whew! Pretty
Extort's got
extreme
14
right now.
CS. He's alone in this lane. That's what level 1 Tombstone does for you.
And it's not just the CS, right? Because he's alone in this lane, he's getting a ton more experience out of the situation. Like, it's not reflecting as much now as we
Tombstone
see
down
another
again.
Tombstone committed. But, dude, level 2 Dragon's Blood. You actually can't kill him. Tweedle D finds himself in an awkward position as well because he's like, well, only the 1 second stun, really? But even if he got the max second stun at this level, I don't think he would have killed Extort. He would have been fine.
He's hitting creeps. He's
Bottom.
pretty chilled. Oh,
No, it's not fine. Other offlaner. Out of times, out of life again.
Out of time is having a hard series, man. The first game he got counterpicked, and yes, it was his fault with the skill build. But now the second game, they go, okay, well, this guy had a rough game the first one. Let's give him an even harder one and try lane his face. So,
I think, oh, Undying's dead. Undying is super dead. Dragon Tail stun goes on to him. N1 did finally make the rotation to the top lane. They don't have access to the ice shards, though. Okay, never mind, Brian Adams.
How dead is he?
Not, he's fine, dude. He's gonna die next. You know why he's not dead? Because he's undying.
Oh, yeah, okay. Cool. I got you.
How does, I was about to ask, how does N1 not have level 3 for the ice shard? But then I remember that they were tri-laning for the last, like, 4 minutes of the game.
Yeah, it's still a hard kill. Dragonite's like this 1-1-2 build has become pretty much the standard, but I really do prefer that the like max stun and max Dragon Blood. Like that's my personal favorite because the stun does quite a bit of damage as well. It's like it's not insignificant. The CD is just better. Oh, Tusk, Snowball.
Oh, they're trying again. Onto the Undying. Will they be able to bring him down this time around? Brian Adams will
and a
drop
free
the Tombstone,
Tombstone.
but this is just free gold. Thanks, boys. Shame. Tweedledum does his best, stuns Extort to try and prevent him from grabbing it, but 2 levels into the Dragon Blood, he probably could have denied, actually. It was low enough.
Yeah,
He should have been able to go that last hit.
Or
Or at least force the Tusk to take it instead of Extort getting the free gold.
I think he got it anyway. Tusk left it for him, and then like just after the stun ended, he hit the Tombstone.
Well, game just got harder. Nice.
At least his OD is having a decent time. Like, what build is he gonna go? Are we gonna see like the old school meme hammer? Old school meme hammer. That's actually like the new age build, but people on OD has started to. He went double North Alley. No.
I've been seeing Witchblades on OD, like Witchblade, BKBs is the thing I've been seeing of late. But that being said, the sample size is like very small. I think only like 2 official OD games, so not 100% sure what he's gonna go for here. In the meantime, bottom, they actually managed to find a kill onto Miposhka. Overextends himself in the side of the map and will end up dying for it. It was inside the Nether Toxin. That is so big. Mr. Unicorn yet again, though. I imagine he's the one that made it happen with the rebound dispose combo. He's just been doing so much work. Even though Enter Wukongs has been losing after game 1, it feels like he's been the one that's kept this game and the series,
Yeah,
in fact,
he's in the right
play for them.
spots. Like he's trying to make space for them. Like he's doing a very good job. I want to comment on this OD pick quickly. Like, remember when the Nully change was made when Storm Spirit became a dumpster?
Yep.
And then everyone was like, oh, maybe OD is broken now because of how this works now with the 6% bonus mana at 25. So I do still think it's a thing. Like I don't think it's irrelevant because 6% on 3 null talismans, 18% bonus mana, and all your damage is based on how much mana you have. Like for 1,500 gold and a Witchblade, you can 2-shot someone. So, oh, Wolf is TP'd middle.
Yeah, he just came here to try and make sure him and N1 to prevent Mr. Unicorn from getting a kill onto Barry.
It was a misplay though. Like he didn't take the bottle from the Lina.
Did he allow to get the bottle refresh? That's
That is a UTP in middle to help your mid, but you don't refill his bottle. Did he TP from the base? I don't know. Maybe he TP from the side.
no, he walked in. He walked in from bottom.
Oh, okay.
Because they got that kill onto Weaver first. He got the kill on Weaver, then he moved middle, trying to put pressure on the Lina. Top lane. They are going directly onto Brian Adams. Do they have the damage with this first usage of the ultimate from Extort? Doesn't seem like it because the DK and the Soul Rip from Brian Adams will keep him topped up. Actually doesn't have Soul Rip, just DK. N1 in the trees. Will he get
Brian Adams?
One more right click. He's not going to die, but Brian Adams has walked away from his own tombstone, and because he misses the decay, doesn't find himself getting the bonus strength necessary to survive this one, will end up taking a tumble. They fight very far from the tombstone, so they're not going to be able to clean that one up. But nonetheless, that is going to be a death that he did not want to give up on this lane.
I really dislike the skill build by Brian Adams. Like
2 points tombstone.
Really dislike it. Like Soul Rip is this hero's best spell by far. If he had Soul Rip, then Tusk was dead. Like he could have nuked him. 2 levels of Soul Rip even. Like, I don't know. Like we said, Tombstone is for vision. It's not for damage. Like, I know in pubs, like, it's being used as like this kill tool, and sometimes it pays off, but I guarantee you, if you have 2 levels of Soul Rip there instead of this Tombstone, getting that kill it's 70% more likely.
Regrettably, he just ends up losing his own life. The Tusk doesn't die, ends up being able to come middle and try and assist this Lina. And if it's a farm fest right here, this does not bode well for Enter the Wukongs. The heroes that they're farming up into definitely enjoy the game just being a lot more static, at least at this stage right now. And they might find another big move here. N1 has shown up, but they do have an Observer Ward directly on top of him. But they try to aggressive. What is happening? Not.a.hero. They are giving themselves over to this Weaver as he's going to dive in and clean up house. Wolf ends up cleaning up out of time. OD will come in, but he's dropped the first usage of the Astral onto Wolf, so they will not have access for the Astral Sanities combo onto this Weaver, and as a result, Weaver's gonna live.
Kill. Yeah, he should have just taken the Dazzle kill there. There's no way he's gonna catch Weaver there. Just take the kill that's on the board. I know you want the Weaver, it's a high priority kill, but you disable the Dazzle. Like, you and the Marcy could have changed targets there. Well, top lane, CK. He's not gonna kill him.
Exalt's fine. 2 points Dragon's Blood with power trades, there's no way.
Feels so bad though. The one CK ulti feels so bad.
But it feels bad now, Not.a.hero. Last patch just was so silly. The whole map would be over right now. You just hit level 6 and destroy a tier 1 last time. It was too much.
Yeah. No, but just still give him 2 illusions, man. Just like less damage and then ramp the damage up instead of the illusions up. I don't know. Because the thing is, my argument is, you get 1 illusion and then you're playing as like a lion and he goes, okay, no, they strong illusions now. You can't do that anymore. They strong illusions now. They don't get popped. You can Dagon them, but no one has a Dagon at level 6.
It was a little bit ridiculous that one of this hero's best skills could be counteracted by one of Lion's worst.
Yeah.
It's like that should never be happening.
Like, hey, I'm gonna mana drain this. Oh, Marcy setting up Mr. Unicorn.
Just steals away the DD rune, but doesn't want to take... This is actually really peculiar because had he gone for that super risky play of going up the high ground, if OD was nearer with the rebound, they'd probably find that kill, but looks like they've been burnt a little bit by these prior movements. Instead, they're going to try and find a safer play in the top lane.
Do you like Exort? Passive playstyle by Enter the Room? Oh, wait, here we go.
They're trying to make it a bit more active right now. They missed the rebound. Oh, no. Now they can't catch up with the dispos either. Worst case scenario, ice shots dropped down by N1. Wolf even shows up with the poison touch just to make sure that everybody's in zone back as far as possible. Well. Magic, mate, he came through. Oh God.
Oh, Mr. Unicorn, we were giving you so much props, and that was your time to like solidify it, and it messed it up. Because the thing is, like, Into the Wukong was playing really passive, and it shows on the net worth. Like, they're keeping up. Like, they had 3 heroes in the top 4 just a moment ago, VK just overtook the CK, but like this looks better. They've got this passive draft, they've got the OD plus the CK. I do think CK outcarries this Weaver if the game goes late, but Lina is a factor. But then you have OD to deal with it, and BKB timings is going to be crucial for 4Q. And I do think Out of Time they've got a Tricore Snare. Viper's got a Dragon Lance. Like, no Rod of Atos here, which I probably dislike. He's going Hood next, which is nice tanky build. But I would have liked to see Rod of Atos into Hood, not just Dragon Lance.
Not just straight D-Lance Hood. Personally, yeah. I have mixed feelings about this passive draw or the passive playstyle from Enter the Wukong. Yes, they do have the situation where they can scale a lot better than they could in game number 1. But there's some very strong scaling from 4Q and some very strong timing. So this passivity has to break at some point. They need to try and get out to the other side of the map and break up this sort of easy farm. Because eventually this Weaver, I don't think Weaver's the real carry here. Weaver's just going to be an interrupter, the bug that you're forced to try and address in the fight. The real carry is this Barry Lina occupying this mid lane. So this Lina has not been getting the most farm out of the map. The one thing that they've done really, really well is that Mr. Unicorn has spent a lot of time here. Lina, that's not a kill. That's not a kill. That's not going to happen. So it's a DK.
Oh, you're going to grab him.
They're going to try and turn around. Snowball actually was just a safe snowball. Wasn't actually a jumping snowball.
Oh, level 3 tombstone, and it's just does nothing.
It does do something. It gives free gold to the enemy, man. Nice times.
It's fun, man. I don't know, like, playing Adams doesn't look comfortable on this hero. Oh, the Viper goes down. Solo to the Weaver. But Weaver just picked up the Maelstrom.
Oh, gosh.
So, what's the corrosive skin at? Just level 1. Okay, so only 10% magic res. So, not that much. And pops from this Maelstrom. Weaver's farmed, man. Like,
top lane. Exort still has access to the Dragon Knight form that they utilized just before when they try to go onto him. Turns out not to be enough to really kill the CK though. Big ultimate coming in from Magic will burst down this Tusk. But this fight's not over yet. They also rotated up the Lina. She has the Laguna Blade. If they can find a Dragon Nail tail stun onto Magic, could be in an awkward position. So they need to be careful here. Wolf has access to the Shallow Grave, so there's no way they kill him. A bit preemptive with the usage of the Grave, so now Wolf is in danger. Will end up being dragged back by the CK and bursted down. Big kill happening by Tweedledum onto the Dazzle in the top lane. They will end up winning this fight from Enter the Wukong. Bottom lane, fight happening onto Mr. Unicorn though. He's no way gonna survive this. Well, what do you make of this here, Etienne? Supports lost all across the map. Who wins?
4Q, because Enter the Wukong's playing in the wrong area of the map. Like, they should have made that entire rotation into this Weaver's lane. Oh, now they're losing the CK as well. Like, 4Q is playing in the right area. You want to be always taking the enemy safe lane tower. Like, it's 4 minutes later than normal, but it's definitely... Like, you don't want...
Magic!
Yeah,
Magic might die.
No, he's
he astros himself to stay alive. 5 seconds until they have Aztecs again to the LSA, but I'm not sure if it'll help. Snowball does come in. They dispose the Lina, but they push her forward. They will be able to kill her. Magic still alive in the trees. N1 will save his life eventually, but at least they get something out of it. They have lost 2 cores in the top lane, but being able to bring down Lina is a big consolation, and also getting N1 is not consolation, but certainly satisfaction. This Tusk will be a big kill. Ryan Adams gets him with a decay on the high ground. And whilst we are witnessing Enter the Wukong finally winning a fight here, Not.a.hero, we have to announce that we have winners on the game. Oh, yeah. We like free stuff. We like free stuff. Yeah. Altizi, wherever you at, you've just gotten yourself free stuff. Anybody who doesn't know Altizi is one of our homies, good friend, not just of the stream in general, but of everybody in South African Dota. So shout out to you. You've got yourself some Evetech Stealth Gaming Glasses. But what don't you like? We like free stuff here, Etienne. What are you not a fan of after we've seen that last fight that turns into a tier 1 tower push for ETW?
The Wukong is still laning. It's 14 minutes into the game. CK keeps TPing top. This is his farming spot. Like, they're playing in the wrong areas of the map. They need to be moving heroes bottom into this Weaver lane. Weaver is completely uncontested. Like, CK has got 4 heroes in his face. This Weaver is sitting bottom by himself and getting kills. Oh, there we go. There's a kill. Out of time.
Yeah, out of time stuff. Yeah, they just jumped him with the DK blink.
Yeah, like, they're just playing in the wrong areas of the map. Like, you either want to be pressuring middle, or you want to be pressuring the spot tower for the dire side, because there is all the space in the world for Lina and Weaver at the moment, and it's reflecting on the Weaver's net worth. Lina, not so much. Barry having a pretty rough time at the moment. Like, what is...
I guess it's just routes of travel things, man. Like, you don't farm exponentially fast because you always have to kind of TP back to base, move out again.
Barry's made the classic mistake that a lot of these leaners end up making, or not a mistake, more of a trap. You buy these BTs, you want to be as involved as humanly possible, but the objective should just be farming towards BKB. And I think he's gotten that memo now, not really trying to make anything force happen on the map. He's like, boys, I need BKB to be effective as a hero. Just do you. And besides, like you mentioned, Miposhka is doing well enough on this Weaver. This was the one thing I was worried about earlier. The fact that into the Wukong, yes, they were playing well into the top side of the map, responding with a lot of fights, but where was the pressure towards Weaver? And now Weaver has gotten to the dangerous point where you not only have the Maelstrom, but you're not that far away from having Linkens here as well. And if you look at these heroes, like, how do they deal with Linkens?
Like,
dude, nice jump top. Magic is Evetech dead. Magic is dead. The Guna Blade is there with the LSA, and now Brian Adams tried to help him out with the Tombstone, but Extort and Barry just managed to bring it down quickly, and then they bring down Brian Adams as well. Oh no, that's awful.
Like, they should have just, like, counter-pushed middle and, like, try and force the rotation. Like, it's just, they're committing bodies to these lost fights, and they don't have the numbers for it.
Oh, and more bodies are being committed, though, because they found out of time. He's dead. Woo! Viper just not having a game, honestly. Not being allowed to play Dota. Well, not being allowed to play a series in general for out of time.
Still Dota, though. Still Dota.
Dyer's structures are fortified.
And what is the timing here? CK is going Orchid next. Like, they need BKBs, man. Like, how can you go... I don't like this Orchid pickup.
Is he really buying Orchid? Yeah, he is.
Yeah, it's going Orchid.
So it's worse than that. You're not a hero. He's already bought the Blitz Knuckle, so you can't even say...
CK Armored BKB. Like, you've got 3000 HP with Armored BKB, and you will definitely kill at least 1 or 2 heroes in a fight if people don't, like, control you or run away from you. So, like, it just needs a BKB. Like, in the item builds here, like, we spoke about Viper not having a rod. This Dragon Lance hasn't done anything for him. Like, it hasn't accelerated his farm, and it isn't allowing them to catch. Like, they could have just, like, simply, like, rodded someone, Master jumps in, grabs him, throws him back, and then you drop all your nonsense. Like, the Tombstone can then come down, but just not having this rod on the Viper, it's really hurting them.
He's got the memo. He's trying to go back for the rod of Atos now, queuing it up after the BKB shot, but it's going to take a lot longer than they would like, especially in light of the fact that we have this Lincoln Sphere available now for Miposhka.
He bought the 2 crowns. But yeah, like, rod before this Weaver gets Lincolns gets a Weaver, yeah, all that, but yeah, he just needed to, like, have this rod instead of the Dragon Lance, and then that bottom lane wouldn't have been so terrible. You just run at this Weaver the entire time.
Yep. But now you can't. Weaver's gonna have this defensive ability, and given the overall state of the game, like, this Weaver's looking and he's like, I could buy a BKB, but let me think about it. Do I actually need this item? They can't hit me with the Chaos Bolt anymore. They can't Astral me anymore. And that Viper is already doing nothing. So if I just go raw damage, play around them, then suddenly I'm in a much better position. I can go forward and make the space for this Lina.
There's all Tusk behind him as well, so there is multiple saves.
Here they go for the Roche, first one of the game. They should be able to claim this with practically 0 diff. ETW are smoked up for this, but can they stop this here, Not.a.hero?
But they're not reacting. Like, they smoked up, but no one's really moving proactively. Like, this bottom lane is pretty passive. Like, they're moving bot now at free Roche, and CK doesn't Tweedle Dum. Like, he's not sure if he wants to hit creeps or if they're gonna find something.
I mean, to be fair, you don't build Orchid and then go want to hit creeps, right? That's part of the drawback of going for this item build. It forces you to try and fight, and he also just revealed himself in this bottom lane. So 4Q Gaming, they know he has Orchid, but sadly, like you say, they have a BKB on Lina. They've got a Lincoln Sphere on this Weaver. Magic just gets caught in this mid lane and brought down without a BKB of his own. And now suddenly 4K Gaming are going to turn the strength that they've just gained onto these buildings as well. Exort hitting it. We spoke in the draft about some of this tower damage here, Etienne, but my god, I wasn't expecting this. 21 minutes and you're already losing tier 2s in this mid lane.
So much push.
Dyer's middle tower.
Oh, that's a good usage of the Dragon form. Like, it ran out as the tower went down. This DK has got shot as well, so this is kind of the best thing about Dragon at the moment. He's 6 slotted right now. DK is 6 slotted. He's got a blink and he's got shot. Like, it's all he needs. Like, these supports are gonna have a horrible time. And yeah, I don't know. Like, it's OD really needed to accelerate this game for them to stand a chance, because
of Viper's item choices, and this Tombstone level 1 didn't do them any favors. He's max Tombstone, and there's 1 level of Soul Rip. I don't understand, like, the 3 levels of DK. It steals the same amount of strength. Like, is, like, 60 damage more for 2 extra skill points better than possibly, like, a 500 damage nuke? It's definitely not.
Especially when you're playing with CK, right? And you're going to have a bunch of units on one area so that you can get even bigger soul rip. But as it stands right now, Magic is going to get his soul ripped out of his body as a side of 4Q Gaming find him in the jungle. Miposhka with the double kill. Into the Wukong seems to have awareness that that particular play was happening from 4Q Gaming, but they still decided to aggress onto the high ground. Massively punished for it. And this is going to lead to them losing the tier 2 tower in the top lane. Xtor just got back the dragon form. So him and Lina, we spoke about the interplay with these two heroes knocking over buildings. And we're seeing it for the second time in the last 2 minutes as they bounce from mid to the top lane to knock over these towers.
And Dragonite's going to keep chipping here. Like, he just wants to probably split this top lane once or twice. Oh, he just chucks the fireball.
Actual splits.
Like, why is that spell called Fireball? There's no fireball happening there. It's just flames on the floor. That should be its new name.
Fireball sounds cooler. Fire.
I don't know. Flames on the floor.
Alright, how about we...
Alan Gang song. Yeah.
Let's split the difference, bro. You know, in Naruto, what's that jutsu called? The Grand Fireball Jutsu? Gokyaku no Jutsu, yes. How about that?
Yeah, I like that. We can go with that, yeah.
Alright, cool. What do they do now, though, for Enter the Wukong? There are several items behind, lots of map control lost. They are going to smoke instead. I'm not sure about this. Magic still doesn't have his BKB, and we still do not have a BKB for the CK. The smoke will be broken by N1. And by N1, him and Wolf, they get a stun out onto the CK. They have the vision here. CK will be able to jump forward, fighting Wolf. That's a big jump. And now Shallow Grave will buy time for N1, but N1 will still end up dying. Miposhka runs down and dying on the other end of the fight. Dying has done his job, has given them vision. The question is, do they want to re-engage? Looks like 4Q Gaming are going to let this one go. They don't want to force the situation 4 versus 3. And they will say, you know what? You got us. You caught us. You brought down both of these supports. Good luck and congratulations on your smoke gank. We're just going to let you take the map control back in your triangle, or in your jungle, rather. We'll farm your triangle instead with Miposhka.
Well, they need to reshove their lanes. They smoked with the bottom lane being pushed in and the mid, so... Got them 2 kills, but can't get anything else off of it because you need to reshove the lanes. But yeah, I guess that's the way in. Like, they need, like, you want to go onto the Dazzle at all times, or you force them to use the Grave on Tusk and not one of the 4s. And then you've got a chance to play Dota. But Weaver's like looking, eh? Oh, there we go.
God, he finds Mr. Unicorn. Mr. Unicorn's in a lot of danger here. Hasn't gotten rid of these bugs. Tries to rebound into the lane, but unfortunately, still in danger here. Several heroes are showing up, though. They're going to try and help out. Mr. Unicorn survives on 30 HP. The Astral onto Miposhka. Do they have enough damage to kill him? Not just yet. Tombstone gets dropped. Viper on the north part of the fight. He's isolated and alone, and he's taking so much damage. The Shallow Grave will keep Miposhka alive throughout all the aggression of Enter the Wukongs. And now they are bleeding away heroes. They've lost 3. Tweedledum cannot bring down Miposhka because of the time lapse. And now Tweedledum's the one that's in danger. He's about to fall. Xtor also making sure Magic can't get involved in this fight either. And they find the eye shots to Magic. He can't get out. Xtor blinks onto him. The breathe fire will be there. And it turns it into a full team wipe. Lina might have died, but it was not worth it. Everybody falls in her place. And 4Q Gaming still have the hero who started the fight, Miposhka, alive at the very end of it.
I even think they could have gone for that the previous fight. Like, that's what I said. Like, I think this Weaver's going to kill them all now. And they just held on to him. They got a team fight with it. Like, nice patience by 4Q. And here goes the towers. And this is without Lina. Like, Weaver can even have gone like Deso instead of this Daedalus. He would have had so many stacks by now. And it would kill him, but the Daedalus is probably like the more standard build. And he's going back for this BKB now. Like, feeling that maybe I'll need it when I don't have Aegis. So, just like smart gaming. He got the defensive item in the Lincolns, then he went for some damage, and then he went back for the BKB. Like, you see a lot of the guys that's even doing casual Crystallis and then into BKB. But you have to do it. Like, when Weavers go Lincoln's BKB, I wanna shout towards the heavens and ask what is going on.
I have the same feeling when I see that build, but when I see this one, I mean, we saw that last fight. The fact that he had the Aegis, like you mentioned, he doesn't end up popping it, but he came low enough that he had to get saved more than once in the fight. So he's like, you know what?
Wolf?
Let me just make sure Wolf doesn't even need to save me. Dude, Wolf just has dancing shoes on. And they can't fight him. This would be suicide to jump into him, so you can't actually do anything.
Oh, he just like juked him so bad, like things over. Oh.
What a player, dude. And he has Icon of a shot now. He's had it for quite a while, and it's been doing so much work in these fights too, because yet there's still at 26 minutes lack of BKBs, and because of the lack of BKBs, they can jump onto this OD, bring him down very quickly. He goes into the Astral, but he has to know that this is only a vain hope, and this vanity will not pay off. Exort will not be able to destroy the Tombstone though, as it does get healed up by the Soul Rip, but Brian Adams, his own life might be forfeit. Here's Barry with the BKB, takes out the Tombstone, and with the Guna, takes out the life of the Undying. Snowball onto the high ground, finding out of time on this Viper. Yet again, he is brought down, out of life, into the Wukongs, maybe out of options, as they're losing their first lane of racks, and potentially their last game in ESL 1 Season 3, and that is it. They call it, they throw in the towel. GG well played, they don't see a way back, and they will be the first team eliminated from the third season of EGL 1. 4Q Gaming win the game and keep hopes of going to the top of the mountain alive here in this season.
Yo, 4Q, man, that was crisp. Like,
It's very crisp.
their draft were solid. Like, you could see their openers were strong. They built their draft around it. They always had team fight, always had tower push, and they drafted intelligently. Like, the first game was a very big outdraft, and the second game, like, it was a bit different. Like, we haven't seen much Lina, we haven't seen much Dragon on offlane, but like, they knew what they wanted to do, and they made it work. Like, keeping these cores down, Viper 1 for 8, like Chaos Knight 1 for 2, 9 kills in total for Into the Wukong. Like, very, very crisp by 4Q. Congratulations to them for moving on in the tournament, and unfortunately we're saying goodbye to Into the Wukong. So, like, these lads have shown up. They've gotten here through the wild card. They're here to play Dota, and thanks to them for being here and participating.
Yeah, they certainly did put their best foot forward. I mean, at the end of the day, it's one of these things where they might not have found themselves being able to get forward further in the tournament, but it's not their first foray. A lot of these players, Tweedledee and Magic, have been in EGL 1 in the past, and they've seen what it takes to be able to get these wins going forward. The fact that they still were able to participate here, they'll take things that they can learn from and improve the squad, so that by the time Season 4 of EGL 1 comes around, they'll be in a much better position. Before we close this one out here, though, Not.a.hero, let us quickly talk about our winners in the side of 4Q Gaming. You mentioned that they had some very intelligent drafting. They utilized their draft quite well in these games. Going forward, though, Into the Wukong, if we're going to be 100% honest, as a wildcard team, not always going to present to you the greatest challenge on earth. They are going to be now playing against other teams that qualified for the tournament and some of the invited squads going deeper into it. And in fact, their next matchup is against Aura Gaming. What do we make of that one? Who would you say has the edge going into that game based on what we've seen here tonight?
Who's their next matchup against?
Aura Gaming, yeah.
So, Aura beat GHC.
Yeah, they did.
But then they got shellacked by XD. So, it depends what Aura is going to show up. Is it the Aura that beat GHC, or is it the Aura that got shellacked by XD? To give it to 4Q, like, their drafts are very crisp, and I can see what their plan is on the map, and there's a clear direction and a clear plan, which is very good to see. Then it just comes down to execution and like reaction and mechanical abilities. So if they can keep their drafts like this, and then they just need to play their Dota, I think it's going to be a good series. It's going to be a really good series. Miposhka looked good both these games. They had a good, like, in one, the Enchantress game 1, on the Tusks the second game, it looked really good. And Brainer, Tiny, Lina looked solid. So they just need to do what they did here, like, give themselves a foot in the door. And I think that's going to be a series, eh? It's going to be a good one.
I'm very much looking forward to that series. It'll be our next elimination game coming in a little bit of time. But of course, right now, 4Q Gaming can rest and celebrate their victory and celebrate still staying within EGL 1 Season 3
and then
still
we
having
have
an opportunity.
Then we have a juicy series coming up later in the week as well.
Ooh, listen. Don't preempt. Yo, y'all ain't even ready, right? The reason why Not.a.hero is super excited about that series is that today we have seen some elimination Dota happening on this side, but trust me when I say that the game that you're going to be witnessing soon in a couple of days, this week in general, just hype. Tomorrow we have a pretty exciting matchup between Platoon and Punks. But the really fun games come from AF and Royal, and then Myrmidon's game has changed. We haven't scheduled that game just yet, but trust when I say you certainly do not want to miss it. Of course, that is going to be us for the evening. Everybody at home, please do me a favor. Do me a very big favor, right? Very big favor. Go ahead and show some love to our boy Not.a.hero at Not.a.hero Dota on the social medias. Go let him know how much hype he's put onto this, how many calls he's made accurately, and exactly why his view of Dota, especially in the SA region, is as special as it is. Certainly, he has made this a much more special occasion than it would have been without him. So shout out to the boy Not.a.hero. Of course, shout out to our sponsors of Dell and Intel who have made this possible. Medium guy. I'm just this guy. Everybody at home though, shout out to y'all as well for joining us on this journey, being involved within this. We gave you some free stuff, and that's not the only thanks we want to give back though. We want to give you our heartfelt appreciation for making this possible and allowing us to spend time doing what we love, which is talking about the best game in the world. Of course, we are not done for we're done for tonight, but we're not done for the week. So make sure that you are also following at Evesports ZA on the social media platforms so that you're instantly aware of which games are coming, which time they're happening, and who will be bringing you the action on the mic. With that, we're closing it out for tonight. This has been the Not.a.Snare duo. This has been a very interesting series between 4Q Gaming and the side here of Enter the Wukong. Enter the Wukong, our first team eliminated, but they sadly will not be our last. So stick around to find out which other teams fall to the wayside, which teams continue the climb, and which team will be elevated to being the best within Africa. Until we find all these answers, we'll see you then. It's Not.a.hero signing out. Until next time, peace out.